Radical. Radical. Radical.
It bombed. I think it did maybe a third of what it was supposed to do. One of the reasons was, to me, I think was an obvious misstep. It was called Birds of Prey, and it didn't have Harley Quinn's name in the original title. Okay, that would be like probably the first thing you would put in a title if you're trying to market this as being in the Batman universe. Harley Quinn, okay? Also, something being in the Batman universe. It's a spin-off, so they got to understand a spin-off movie's not going to do quite as much as the mainline series usually. All right, Suicide Squad was a spin-off of Batman and that kind of stuff. Batman, by the way, was heavily advertised for Suicide Squad, but was only in it for like maybe a minute or two, something like that. Okay. Joker's not in the movie, so any of you wanting to see Joker in the movie, no. There's references to Joker. The plot revolves around her breaking up with Joker. She's sad. Mr. J. She's sad and everything. Because she doesn't have that protection from Joker, everyone's trying to get her. So it's just a wild movie I've heard where she's just trying to avoid getting killed, okay? Which I could see the humor in that. Some people have actually told me it's kind of funny, all right? So maybe if you go into it like trying to, blanking out all the feminist kind of woke stuff, maybe you might enjoy yourself. But I know personally as a man, I'm not, and maybe I'm the problem here. I'm not going to put down money for it. Maybe the problem is, maybe they didn't see this, that most of the people that went to see Suicide Squad, and let's be honest here, most of the people that go to see comic type movies are males. You got to know your audience. Most people that play video games, outside of maybe mobile, are males. Okay, that comment might trigger some people. Most people that collect action figures are males. I can go on and go on and go on. You got to know your audience. So you're kind of asking for it to bomb. You're asking for it to bomb if you have the whole thing around, just females and a power fantasy and everything like that. You're asking me to stretch believability out, all right? Because some of these females I'm looking at, I'm like, that was only like 4.5 foot tall. How am I supposed to buy them actually beating up on some males? Which is another thing I won't go into. Okay, you gotta make it believable for me. Have it be like a Ronda Rousey type. You have to make it believable for me as a viewer, right? So you have the female power fantasy. And like I said, I get it. I get how a lot of women, they want their kind of movies too. Okay, so I understand that there's a market for that. But you can't market it in that way. Like I said, in one thing, actually, being confusion around it, whether it's a DC movie or not. Like the Birds of Prey, like what is this? Is this a romantic comedy or something like that? Like what is this? Okay, you have to. I'm looking at the poster here. Maybe there's different posters. Maybe there's a revised poster I'm seeing here. But I'm just seeing nothing but females on the poster. It looks all pretty, and I'm like, okay, this is clearly marketed to females. Marketed to females. I see it's rated R too. So it's marketed to females, and a lot of the people that would probably want to go see it are probably going to be, under 18. Okay? Because it seems like the kind of movie that might cater to a lot of like younger females that want to go see it. Again, with that female power fantasy. Beating up on those evil men. Okay? So you have a lot going on here that's going to keep a lot of guys from going to see it. The biggest problem I've seen a lot of places, is the blaming of guys for not wanting to go see it. The blaming of males, a lot of feminists will blame males for not wanting to go see it and being sexist because you don't want to see this movie. You're sexist, obviously, right? But we can't have a double standard where, like, okay, let's say there's a movie that's very testosterone filled. Let's say, I don't know, Hobbs and Shaw, Fast and Furious spinoff. Okay, couldn't a lot of guys come out against females going like, the problem is y'all are sexist against men. All right, this is clearly a male type movie with a again a power fantasy, revolving around cars and guy stuff. Well, maybe that's not the best example. But leave in the comment section down below an unapologetically male movie. Whereas this is probably an unapologetically female movie with the female power fantasy. Males and females, they have different power fantasies, all right? So, yeah. I do think that is a market for these kind of movies. There's a market for these kind of movies. You got your comedies, you got your romantic comedies, you got your action thrillers, you got all different kind of movies for different audiences. But I'm seeing a tweet here from somebody named Sai. The blatant sexism around the conversations about Birds of Prey is wild. It's funny what kind of standards everyone holds women-centric films to, and everyone has to be perfect, but dude bro movies can lack good actors, storylines, and logic and still be praised. So it's saying basically guy-centric movies, like there's a double standard here? I don't know. It sounds to me like somebody like making excuses for a movie that probably just isn't really that good, or the direction of it is not that good, or the concept is not that good, or the marketing is not that good. And I haven't seen it. Maybe it's really good. Maybe it's the best movie of the year. I'm not sure. But trying to bring sexism up in it is just kind of, it seems like really reaching. It seems really reaching. You got Jerry Conway, comic book legend here, saying that sexism is to blame. Other people claiming sexism is to blame. What did he say? The box office, what it says about the male audience for superhero films is sad. His take is, it didn't pull enough teenage boys because Margot Robbie didn't want Harley Quinn to be sexualized as she was in Suicide Squad. Okay. So the problem, Jerry says, is these teenage boys didn't go and see the movie because she was not sexualized. Now, the problem is these teenage boys are not mature enough, right? No, the problem, Jerry, is it's an R-rated movie. You dumbass. Teenage boys didn't get a chance to go to see the movie. All right? And you said she proved the male audience for superhero movies isn't as mature as we'd like to have hoped. Here's the thing, Jerry. Okay, not just you, everybody else. You don't get to choose the audience. You create the art. You don't get to choose the audience. Sometimes you would like for there to be a different audience, but it's just a fact of the matter, all right? The audience for Suicide Squad is not going to be there for a lot of different reasons. One reason is there's no Batman and there's no Joker, all right? You take one of the best parts of Suicide Squad, a lot of people say, even though the Joker kind of sucked, his portrayal in that movie sucked, it was a bright spot, his interactions with Harley Quinn in that movie, and it's a recognizable character. You take the Joker out and you got a hyena. It just seems like it's very loosely connected to the DC universe. So loose of a connection. And it's a spinoff, I know, but what do you have? I saw the trailer. What gets me excited about it? What gets me excited about it? I know there's a lot of movies out there that have different narratives that might not interest females. Again, I point to maybe Fast and the Furious, Hobbs and Shaw, maybe boxing movies. I think boxing movies, that would be, boxing movies, probably not a ton of females go to see that because they're unapologetically male. This is an unapologetically female-oriented type movie. So why the fuck are you all going to expect a lot of guys and teenage boys to go to a female type movie? Like, why are you going to expect that? And why are you going to hold it against people for not liking what you created? We created this. You guys, you're the problem. Maybe it's the other way around. It should be the other fucking way around. If you have a problem with an audience, then you don't blame the goddamn audience. I mean, and if you're marketing it, if your marketing is shit, okay, maybe that's not even representative of the entire movie. I haven't seen the movie, but it's marketed in a way that's going to appeal to feminists, that's going to appeal to woke people. It's marketed to those people. So why should I go and see it? It's not for me. It is not for me. Clearly, it's not for me. It's not for a lot of guys. From the marketing, might be better than the marketing, but the marketing seems to be pretty shitty on it, and they just recently added Harley Quinn's name in the title. Did they even think this through? All right?